Hey guys, it's Deborah. So if you saw my very last video, I mirrored off the Temple Institute website. I just basically went on there and not website, sorry, YouTube channel and copied their video and put it on my channel just to update you guys on the red heifer. There are two that they were looking at have been disqualified. If you have not seen that video, I'm replacing it with this one because I feel like my channel is supposed to be about encouragement and that's kind of discouraging. TOL End Times, which is another channel that I watch, basically reported on it. So then I went on the Temple Institute and saw like what they were saying, and I just mirrored the video. So you can check it out on the Temple Institute, but on their channel and see what they say. So basically, yeah, the two heifers that we've been looking at for a long time have actually been disqualified, but two more are still in the running, but they have white hairs. So the chances of them, they're hoping they'll turn red, but the chances of them turning red, I think, are pretty slim. And I just want to talk to you guys for a minute about what this actually means instead of just mirroring the video, because it really was surprising to me and I was like pretty upset about it. And I'm like, well, why am I going to upset you guys? I'd rather encourage you guys, because literally my name is Deborah, so I'd be a Debbie Downer, and my channel is literally about encouragement, so, and looking for the Lord's return. So I don't want to be discouraging. Brother Chooch on TOL End Times, he was saying we could, do Operation L'Oreal, like to maybe dye the hair. Somebody in the comments talked about a red Sharpie, but we're not going to go to those desperate measures. We're going to just let it be. Of course, what's God's will. Somebody who put a not very nice comment actually wrote about saying like, it's like, I'm basically making a huge mistake even caring about these red heifers. And I don't think that was very nice, but regardless, I do think it is important because I think these signs are for now. I think the reason these heifers have started to come into appearance is to help everyone have encouragement that we are in the end times. It doesn't mean we hold our faith on these heifers. Now, that being said, my friend, who is actually my neighbor, the one you guys have heard actually on my old channel and stuff like that, she actually talked to me about this that just happened. And she said that basically with these red heifers, they are not really of the right age, really, for the whole scenario. Like that part is very interesting. So I think what we need to focus on is that they've come into existence at all. And that's the focus, that all of a sudden after 2,000 years, you have this red heifer project. And that's what's pointing at the end times, not that the red heifers are here. So I want to focus on that. So what she was saying was, if you look at the timeline of the tribulation, the red heifers, I hope you guys know why we're even looking at the red heifers. It's for their ashes, for the third temple to be built. The person who put that comment, who was saying, I shouldn't even be looking at this. Why am I even looking at this? I completely disagree, because it's not that you need these things, that God can't work without these things. It's that he still works in the human realm. He still works with our natural everyday life. And these cows, I believe, are a sign. The fact that the Temple Institute is starting this project is a sign to say that they are on the verge of trying to build this temple. Now, I'm not saying this is I'm saying this is the temple that the Antichrist is going to reign from. I'm not saying like, let's worship these cows and worship in this temple, or nothing like that. What I'm saying is it's a sign that things are on the move. For 2,000 years, there hasn't been this red heifer. And the red heifer that is pure, that is born, will be the 10th in all of history. So once that heifer is born, it'll be the 10th of all of history. We may not be here to see it, but we are seeing the start of it, and that's encouraging. So the reason why my friend said the timing wise doesn't really matter, and there's, as long as they just keep working at it, and we're not hanging our whole hat on this, but it was pretty shocking to me that they're disqualified, because we thought this was the one, but it's not. So what she's trying to say is that it has to be around 2 by the time the temple needs to go up. So they can get the temple up very quickly. And that still works with the timeline that we're looking at. Like if the cow is born tomorrow, and it's 2, all we need is a temple midway through the tribulation. It doesn't have to even be up for the first couple of years. As long as there's something standing halfway through the tribulation that the Antichrist can sit in, stop the sacrifice, and kick the Jews out, that's the timing we're looking at. So these cows would be too old unless the temple was being built like today. Like they're basically 2 in August. So, I mean, unless the temple was going up in August, which it could have, but timing wise, I don't think so. So I had just posted a video about the tribulation possibly beginning in August so that it ends in September. Feast of Trumpets 2028. I just did a video on that. That being said, these cows would have been a bit old, because if the tribulation begins in August, I mean, they're not going to immediately just build a temple. It will probably take a little time for that whole thing to occur. And once it does, they would have been, I think the oldest they can be is 3 or 4. I can't remember, but I think 2 is around what they're supposed to be sacrificed. So that being said, I replaced the video because I want this to be an encouraging channel, and I want you to see the positives in it. And it is shocking to me. Honestly, it was shocking, because I was like, are you even kidding me? That was pretty crazy. But what we're looking at is the fact that they are producing these heifers and trying to create one. And that's the part that we should be like, okay, well, we're in the end of the last days because they're trying to do this, not because the cow is born today. So the other 2 could still be qualified, but I don't personally see that, because the white hairs turning red seem to be very unlikely. I don't know how likely that is, but that would seem unlikely to me, unless you use Brother Chooch's idea with the L'Oreal, Operation L'Oreal, or the red Sharpie project. So you could do that, but other than that, I would think these aren't the ones. I would think if the cow is just born now or born in the next year or so, that would be perfect timing to kind of have this whole thing set up, and then everything to end the tribulation in 2028. Now, these are all just guesses, theories, hopefulness, and all this stuff, but this video to me is more, I prefer to say this to you guys than I would to just say, they're disqualified, check out the Temple Institute, end of. Because then I do have a lot of people saying, what next? What do we do? What is our thoughts? So what we need to focus on is that these are being produced. This is the end times. They weren't trying to have these heifers be born 5 years ago. That wasn't even a thing. Or 10 years ago. I shouldn't say 5. I don't remember the year the first one tried, but 10 years ago, or in 1948 when Israel became a nation. They were just trying to survive. Israel was just trying to survive. But now they're adamant about trying to have this happen. And I believe this is, I don't know why that person put in the comments that it's why am I even looking at this and all this stuff? That's not right to me, because this is so God. This is so like God for him to make the 10th, which is completion, 10th red heifer. And when the time comes, God will make that red heifer stay red, because it'll be the right time. Does that mean that he's enjoying them building a temple, making sacrifices, and not believing in him and worshiping the Antichrist? No, but it's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. So that's where I'll leave it on that. I really need to pray more before I even say anything or post anything, or even mirror, or even my community posts. I definitely do. That said, I think this is a good video, because the point of my channel is also to keep you up to date on Israel news. So I don't want you to have your head in the sand and just not know what's going on, but I want to say it in a way where it encourages you guys to continue to keep looking up and, stay encouraged. So I'll leave it at that and just say that, yeah, we are, these heifers, timing wise, weren't ideal. They were still plausible and possible, but not ideal. But they're not stopping, and one day God will just produce the right one. Not one day, but one day, any day now. And when that moment happens, it'll be all God, because it'll be the 10th red heifer in all of history, and it'll be purely red. Who knows? They could even bypass this, because their temple won't even be legit anyway. They could even bypass it and just not even use it. Who knows? It seems like they are going by the rules and by the books, but what they're doing right now is not with the Lord's help in that way. They're doing it for their Messiah, and so I don't know how that's all going to go down, but if it's God's will that it goes down in the way of the proper procedure to make this temple, then he will produce this 10th heifer, and it will be pure red, and just to allow this prophetic events take place, not because he's sitting and living in the temple or something like that. I don't want to focus too much on negative comments, but regardless, I want to leave it at that. Encourage you guys that, we should stay up to date on the news. I can't just tell you only things that make you happy and tickle your ears and make you feel good. But at the same time, I do want to keep it, not put a spin on it, but basically just keep the focus on the encouraging side of it. And the encouraging side is that these events are taking place like they've never taken place before in 2,000 years for a reason. And the timing still fits. So stay tuned for my next 2 videos, the same 2 that I keep trying to get out. And I was actually going to talk about the red heifer in the video. So yeah, it fits. So as soon as I can do that, that's my goal today still, to try to do that. It's going to be just like a chat, like literally just a chat. And then I have another one on a kind of a Bible study. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Sorry if you guys felt discouraged. I hope this clears things up for you. The project is still on for them to get this red heifer. The Lord will provide when the time is right, and this was not the time was right, and it makes sense that the time wasn't right. So it's all okay. It's all good. Everything's fine. And yeah, just keep hopeful and know that yeah, I'm here to update you on the news and to help you to stay up to date on everything that's happening, but I will definitely explain going forward. I won't just leave you there hanging, because there was a lot of people that were like, uh-oh, what's going on? Is the Lord not coming? Like, definitely our lives don't revolve around any one of these events, but at the same time, they're important. I'm not throwing them out. Not a chance. So that said, I will talk to you guys again soon. I will really get this other one out because I think it's just something that we need to do, just talk and chat. So I will talk to you again soon, or see you in there, hopefully. Until next time, God bless and shalom.